What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rugged Adventures. Today is out with the old, in with the new type of day. We had put these mirrors on this RZR. This is a 2012 800 four-seater, and I had put these on here. These were Kemimoto mirrors that they gave me to demo, and they've been awesome. They're the breakaway mirrors, and I have smashed these dudes on some trees pretty hard, and they fold in all the way like that. So I got a call from those same folks, and they said, hey man, you want to try some of our mirrors with lights in the front of them? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. So they sent me these. And these are about the same size mirror, maybe a little bit bigger glass. But they have, you know, these LED lights that are pretty popular for off-roading, just like this 12-inch Nightlight light bar. So what we're gonna do today is get these on the rig and wired up, just kind of show you how they work, and then we'll get out and test them out at some point. So first things first, we are just gonna get these stripped off of the rig and prepare for these guys. Okay, so we got those off and we're ready to start putting on the new ones. And I read online a bunch about these because there wasn't a whole lot of directions in the box here. The thing that is that these are sided. So on the bottom of this guy here, if you can see that, there is a drain hole. And obviously that has to go towards the bottom. So make sure when you're putting these on that you do have a left and right one before you install them, and that you put them on the correct side so that the weep holes are on the bottom. So we'll get these mounted up, and it's pretty simple. It's just 2 bolts here on this crimp ring. And unlike the other ones that had little nuts that you had to put in back here, this looks like it's all tapped and threaded into the housing here. So this should be much easier to install than that one. And then once we get these on the vehicle, we'll get into how to wire them and how I'm gonna wire them. Okay, so we have this one loosely mounted on here. It's just these 2 screws, and I was really concerned that this bracket was gonna be too big for this windshield to fit on there, but it is seated almost all the way down there. That may be a deal breaker for these in the long term, but we'll give it a few test rides to see how it goes and make sure it doesn't interfere too bad with this windshield. That is too bad that it's that big. But we have this on here, and what I'm gonna do is get in, put the other side on, and then get in and kind of get this situated exactly where I want it to be before I tighten these down. So we're gonna go over and do the other side and then work on the wiring. So we've got these things on now, and I gotta be honest with you, that's looking pretty sharp. Looking good, goes with the rest of the LED light situation. That's the LED light bar. These have LED headlights. Now I have those LEDs. So we have them on, and they're not quite adjusted exactly like I want them yet, but I have them very close to where I need them, and I cinched down these collars on both sides. So next up is going to be wiring and how to do this cleanly. I will put an overlay right now of what the wiring schematic is, because they didn't put any polarity in the directions, which again, I didn't see any directions at all. But I'll put that polarity up so that you guys know which goes to positive and which goes to negative. So my plan so far is just to run this wire down this area right here where the body wraps around the roll cage. And I'm gonna leave a little bit loose. From there, I'm gonna take all the grounds and just put them to wherever I can ground them on the frame. And then I'm gonna tie the positives into the switched outlet for this light, so that essentially one switch will control this and both of the mirror lights at the same time, because I don't see a situation where I would want one and not the other. So I'm gonna get to work on that, and we will be right back. All right, it's getting a little dark out, so we gotta get this thing wrapped up. But once you get your wiring done. And I didn't go into how I wired it because how you do it is could be entirely up to you. I just took a ground off of one of these switches and wired it into the power out from this switch. And that's just the way that's the way I did it. Some of you guys have the bus bars up under the hood and several other ways, so I didn't really get into the wiring. But just go ahead and make sure that you aim these guys to somewhere that, you know, works for your rear view mirrors. One thing I didn't mention before putting this wire through here is adjusting this in or out to where you want the mirror to sit, because once you have this wired in, it's a little bit harder to do. You'd have to take off this whole thing and then twist this out, or I guess you could loosen this and try to twist this by hand, but it's much easier if you can just flip the whole mirror, because now you can't do that with the wire in there. But lock this thing in really good so it doesn't come loose for you, and then we'll just tighten down these two screws right here. And that should be our mirrors. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. You can change out these inserts here as well. It comes pre-done with black there, but you also have the option of red and blue. Obviously, I'm probably not going to use blue on this razor, but I might try these reds and see how they look. But before we're out of light here, let me give you a shot of how bright they are, if you can really tell from the camera. But that should be a ton of light spilling out onto the sides, wired up with this light bar. And then if we turn on the headlights too, with all that LED light coming out of there, we should have no problems on the trail. Let me shut the doors. I'll try to get as dark as I can in here, and we'll just do a quick comparison. Okay, so pitch black, and we're just gonna hit this light bar so you'll get the light bar and the side lights. And that's pretty darn bright. Add in the headlights, and like I said, you're getting a good amount of light from way over here all the way to over here. And that should, I would think, be pretty solid for any type of riding that you're doing. So that's going to be it for today. I will do a video on all the lighting that I have on this razor, because we also have rock lights. And these are just cheapo Amazon rock lights, and we'll do a video on that. But I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Be sure to hit the like button. Again, these are the new Kemimoto LED rear view mirrors, and I will put a link in the description to get these. These ones here were also awesome, but you know, these have lights in them, and the hillbilly in me says, you know, if you can add lights to it, let's do it. So again, guys, appreciate you watching. I'll catch you next time.